Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we've got an ATV storage box made by Plano, and it is for my 2019 Can-Am Max Outlander. And today, we're going to unbox it, see inside, and take a look at everything, read the directions, see how it's shipped. I have been researching these longer than I've owned my Can-Am. Got my Can-Am last April, something like that, and lots of different options for storage boxes, like this one, like all of them. Every one of them's got their good reviews and their bad reviews. Price played a lot into the decision. I have other Plano stuff. The box that I currently use for storage on my ATV is a Plano box. It's not specifically made for the ATV, but it's a box that I tie down on the back of the Can-Am. But this box is specifically made for an ATV. So I haven't had any issues with the other Plano box, and for the price, I think this was $102 shipped. You can they were $139. I've seen them $189 on eBay or on Amazon, and but I found this one for $102. So do your research before you buy your box. Again, this had a lot of bad reviews about they weren't happy that it didn't come assembled. I knew that going in. There is going to be some assembly. How much, we'll see. And some other complaints about it, but there was a lot of good reviews online. A lot of people did modifications, and first we're going to get it put together and see, once I get it on my machine, if any modifications are going to help me out or not. I don't mind doing them. Again, for the price, we're going to take a look, and again, it's a Plano ATV storage box, and I'm going to give it a good review. We're going to see how easy it is to put together. We're going to see what it looks like on my machine, and after a few rides, I'm going to give it another review, because on YouTube, there have been a couple videos of this, but nothing long term or nothing after the fact that I could find. So we're gonna try to stick to the guns and give you guys a good review, so you can see if this is a good product for you. So again, the only thing I was a little concerned about is the cutout. My Can-Am's a 2-up. It's got the rear passenger seat, and went online and did the measurements. Hopefully we're going to be really close with the cutout around the back seat, and hopefully it's going to fit. And I'm also it's going to be interesting to see how we're going to finally end up mounting this. I know there's a couple U clips that will go down inside, attached to the rack. My Can-Am has the link system. It's really made for Can-Am stuff, but I know, we're just going to adapt and see what it takes to get this thing mounted. So without further ado, we're going to get into the box and see what we got here, see how it's shipped. See, right now, right off the top, I don't see any noticeable cracks or dents, or it doesn't look like it was dropped or anything. The lid is off. I know we're going to have to attach the lid. And one of the one of the complaints that people were making were the seal. They were complaining that they couldn't get the seal. There's a rubber seal that will keep out the weather for this trunk, and but other reviewers said they just took some rubbing alcohol and adhered it that way because the seal kept falling off. So I don't think that's going to be a problem. But we'll see. Lid. Tell you what, this is it's actually sturdier than I thought it was going to be. Here's the hinge for the lid, and the box of goodies. We got the assembly instructions and everything in here. So let me figure out what tools we're going to need and bring you folks back. Okay. All right, we're back, and I read the first few lines of the directions, and what I wanted to do was test to see if the new box was going to fit around the rear seat of the Can-Am. So I brought it out here. I didn't film that. Put it around the Can-Am, and it just fit just fine, and I'll show you here in a second. But I also wanted to show you what it was going to replace. All right, so here's the new Plano, and it is going to replace the old Plano. And how this old Plano box, it was just a storage box. I don't know, it was $11 I think, or $8. Very reasonable. It's for as much trail riding as I did this year. I had this box, it held up great. Right here are the bungee tie downs. I just tied it to the link rack on the Can-Am, and it's and this thing really held up. I was really happy. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this off. And we're going to try to remember the lid is still loose on this thing. We're going to try to put this on here. One-handed here. All right, so what I was worried about was, again, fitting around. Hopefully the light is going to get you too bad here, but I'm going to show you the tolerances. So it's about even. I have a good inch on both sides of the seat where the extended box comes around, and we'll get as I get it mounted, we'll get you a better look, and so you can see that. Again, the light's probably going to get you. So, all right, we got two surfaces to work on. I'm going to keep the bottom, maybe keep the bottom half on the ATV. We'll get the lid on this work surface, and we can start mounting the hardware. Okay, I got some of the hardware laid out on the rolling bench here, and first thing in the directions is they want there's two steel locking mount plates that need to go on both sides. We're going to go here, and they're going to go on this side, and this allows you to secure to lock the unit. You use a padlock to lock the lid to the bottom section of the box. So we're going to do that. Two of these, four carriage bolts, and 10mm wrench. So we're going to put those on. I'm going to take the lid off for now. And I'm going to bring you in a little closer over here. Take you for a little ride here. And there's 2 pre-drilled holes here, and the mounting plate's going to go there. Washer, and these are the locking nuts. One started here. I'm not gonna tighten them all the way, but we'll just get them started. When I came out to put the test fit, the box around the seat, I mean, it got a lot warmer, a lot quicker than I thought it was going to today. So I decided to assemble everything out here in the garage because it's just such a nice day. It's like 50 and maybe gonna reach 60 today. So the sun's out. So we're out here instead of being cooped up in the basement of the house. All right, that's on there. It's not tightened, but it's gonna hold and until we can get a test fit with the lid. All right, I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side, and I'll bring it right back. Okay, got the lock plates on, and bring in for a close up there, and there's the one side, and the other side just looks the same. Again, I don't have them. I have them just kind of hand tightened, not too tight. Remember, we're working with plastic, so you don't want to draw them in tight, but you don't want to crank down on them, so you don't want to damage the plastic. So show you with the lid on. So get you in there. I think that's a really good, it's a really good fit. So the next thing it wants to do is the directions say to we're going to work with put the weather stripping in the lid. So we're going to just to wipe it down with some dentured alcohol to get the shininess and any oils that might have been in the manufacturing process. So dentured, we don't have any dentured, but we do have some rubbing alcohol. Pretty much the same thing for our purposes. It's going to work. So we're going to put it over here, get that rubbed down. All right, I was pretty generous with the rubbing alcohol, and we'll give this just a few seconds to evaporate, and should be good to go. Rubbed it down pretty good. So let's find the and I may have left that in the basement. So yeah, be right back. Okay, I got the surface of the lid wiped down with the rubbing alcohol. Clean it up. We want a good surface prep for the tape. Now, I said earlier it was a rubber gasket. It is a foam. It's a foam gasket with with an adhesive backing that you attach. So, my first kind of question about this so far is I would have thought that the foam backing would have went to the bottom side of the lid, so that when you open and close it would create a seal that way. The picture is showing the guy putting the foam gasket on the side of the lid. So I'm not so sure how that's going to work with opening and closing the lid a lot, if this is going to catch on that. So looking at this, if I would do it on the bottom of the lid, there's not enough space. Let me show you here. Bring you in here. So here's what I'm talking about. I initially thought that the foam seal would go on this side. The picture is, I think, showing him put it on this surface. But using this surface, it's consistent all the way around, and it's a good size. It's a 5/8 foam seal, and it does just fit perfect on the sides. On the bottom, you're going to run into right here. There's not going to be enough surface area for the seal. So, all right, we're going to go ahead and mount it to this side all the way around, and we'll. I do have some question about the adhesiveness, but you know, if it's not sticking, or if there isn't enough adhesive on this tape, I can always glue it. That's not going to be a problem. So let me get started on that. Start in the middle here and work our way around. And just so as not to stretch it or anything, just to place it and press it against the side of the lid. All right, I'm gonna bring you back when that's all on there. Okay, got the foam adhesive all the way around, and let me bring in so started right there in the middle, worked our way all the way around, even though the adhesive didn't seem real sticky, but it has really it really went on well all the way around. And I didn't stretch it or pull it, and I had plenty of leftover. We got this much left over, so in case we have a problem or something, we need to replace some, I can cut it out and replace it with that, the extra. But so far, it's adhering really well. And again, I think it's the right place for it because of the consistency and the way it's just fitting on there. So right here, I came back around. What I did was, I think, a good way to end this, because you don't want any gap here. So I took it and I lapped over where I first started laying the gasket. Then I just took a knife and I cut both pieces, and that gave me a really nice ending seam there to where it joined it. So that's what I did there. All right, next, well, I tell you what, we're gonna put this on. And see what we wind up with. Okay. So here's where the padlocks would go, the side plate, locking plate. And so let's, the hinges are not on yet, obviously, but I can actually feel the resistance of the foam. And I got to say, it's it's a very nice fit, and I can feel that it really seals it. You know, when you're taking it on and off. There you go. It's gonna seal nice. Now, you know, the question is long term, is it gonna stay there? It can always, you know, put a glue where it's just not gonna come off. But you know, so far we got a good fit. All right. Next, I think the directions, we're gonna do the hinges. We're gonna mount the bottom hinge. This is gonna go here, backing plate on the inside, and then we'll get let's see what it says about the top hinge. All right. With 3 hinges, there are the 3 bottom brackets and the 3 backing plates for the 2 ends and the middle. And these holes are all pre-drilled, so are all going to be put in with the carriage bolts, the same as the side mounting plates. So let's get that started. Take the lid back off. Lots of those. Get that later. All right, I want to point out the backing plate for the bottom hinge. There does seem to be a flat side and a rounded side. We're getting that there. So I am putting obviously the flat surface against the back on the inside of the box. So it's flatter. I don't know, it's just the way it's manufactured. Didn't give any directions about this, but I am putting the flat side to the inside. There's a washer. It goes on before the nut. And one more. All right, those are just hand tightened. Let's get the other ones on. in the pictures on the directions, it shows shows a mounting, shows all the hardware. It wasn't painted. This is painted black. It's not it's not powder coated or anything, I don't think, but it's painted. Okay, that one's on. I'm gonna do the same with the third. I'll bring it back. Okay, got the I got the bottom parts of the hinges onto the bottom part of the box, and I left them loose because I think one of the complaints people were having with this with putting it together was they were probably tightening everything, and along with the top hinges were probably tight. They were probably having a tough job trying to put the hinge all the way through because everything was so tight. So recommendation there is to go ahead and leave everything loose, top and bottom, and and then tighten it later on when everything's on there. So, but I knew there was something. Take you off of here. I knew there was something people were complaining about. So here's the part of the hinge that goes on the lid, and it will go like this. So the carriage bolts will go in from the bottom side through, and then they just want the washer and nut. It will just go straight on the plastic here. And I think some people were concerned about, well, maybe there should be a backing plate on this to help prevent this from the plastic from caving in or tearing out around the bolt. The washer will be there, so I'll keep my eye on that. Maybe because they're not expecting much stress opening, closing. Again, that'll be determined later on. If I can look at this later. If I think that there's some damage being done to the inside of the plastic hinge here, then I can always put a piece of metal backing plate on there to shore it up. So I think that was another complaint that people were having. But we'll see. The future will tell if this is going to hold up or not. So we're going to attach this part now and get those all bolted in, and then on to the next part. And these are all pre-drilled also too, if you didn't figure that out already. And the way this was molded, the other complaints, which I think are, unless I just really got a good product, there's some plastic left over in the holes, but you can just push the carriage bolt right through and break any bit of plastic that was left over from the manufacturing process, because it's just blow molded together. It has not been an issue at all so far. And I am not gonna tighten these down. They're a little, where's that wrench that I had? Here it is. Again, 10 millimeter, it seems for everything so far. So we're just gonna get them started. That one came off. The paint on these makes it a little difficult to get started. All right, I'll get the other hinges on here. All right, I'm gonna spare you the pain of watching me just put carriage bolts in holes, so I'm gonna bring you back. Okay, got the hinges in place, and they're just finger tightened in there, still pretty loose. And I think we're going to, it says to, we're going to fit the lid and then put the hinge through. So we're going to lid on, and again it is getting a little snug with the foam weather seal in there, and these hinges are going to go inside of the brackets that are on the bottom side. Again, everything was loose. And let's get here's the long hinge. I ended up getting this through the, I mentioned Amazon because I was looking at Amazon for all these and all the different types of ATV boxes. But I ended up getting this through Walmart's website, and again, it was $102, and it was the cheapest deal going. So, getting back to what was I going to say? I seen somebody on the comments of the Walmart site, or one of the sites. I mean, it was on Amazon, but somebody cut the rod up, and they made the rod in 3 separate pieces. And I forget, I'm going to look at that again and see why he did that. He felt it served his purpose, but we're going to, got everything that's loose, we're going to put the hinge through. And people were having a really tough time with that. But you just leave everything loose, and it should just feed through just like that, and we're through. Again, I did the key, make sure everything is loose so you can adjust and get that thing through. And it takes a couple cotter keys, 2 cotter keys, And looks like two washers for the ends. And you may have to, and let's take this one back off. It's maybe important to put these in a strategic, put the hinge in a strategic place so you can get a good fit. It's not gonna interfere with anything. Let's see here. Alright, the way I put them in, the ends of the cotter keys are kind of rubbing on the plastic here. So I don't really want that. Let's pull that out and start over. What are our options here? Do it to the top. Let's see. Put them over the ends now. See what they. Okay, got the hinge, or the cotter keys onto the ends of the hinge, or steel rod they're calling it, but when I just, you know how a cotter key is, I inserted the cotter key with the lid on, and the position, it was hard to get the a good position with the cotter key. It was I couldn't get it all the way on without hitting the plastic, and it was just awkward trying to figure that out. I ended up opening the lid, and I'll bring it over here. So there it is now. I ended up opening the lid, and from the inside, I ended up putting the cotter key in, and the lid's hitting on it now. And put the cotter key in and got it in the first click position, but it was still kind of high, and so I just with a little hammer, little persuasion, I pounded that all the way through to the loop end of the cotter key, and I'm gonna pay attention to that as we go forward here, opening and closing the lid, and see if that's the right thing for this. Same thing on the other side. with the lid open, put the cotter key in, and then pound it all the way through, and we'll see. We're going to see if that's a good position for that cotter key or not. We'll see here. All right, next, we're moving on to, wants to attach the bungee cords to the front of the box. So let's do that. Okay. I know another area of frustration in some of the reviews were these bungee cords. There's 2 of them, and they're going to attach on the front side of this to help attach the lid or keep it down. So there's. Hi, what's that?
I need your car keys.
Oh, you needed my car keys?
Yeah,
oh,
this one's got to go to the paper.
Oh. Yeah. Just more editing.
Sorry.
I got plenty of editing to
Sorry.
do. Alright. I had to give away for car keys because I had to move her car out of the garage to do all this. So another source of frustration for people were these bungee cords that they get attached to the front side of the box. Some comments were absolutely useless, and or it should have been a better clasp system. So we're going to take a look. We'll put them on, and we'll decide together if these are any good or not. So locate the 2 bungee cords. Slip the loop then. So we got to take you around the front. Let's do that. Let's get you set up that way. All right, got you around the front. I ended up closing the garage door because of the light coming in. So we'll see now. Now I hope we're not too dark. So here's where the bungee cord is going to get attached. Let's get the directions and see what it's going to tell us to do. Okay. While I took some time to read the directions a couple times, and while we were gone, I also took the time to tighten down the carriage bolts that were holding all the hinges on. Again, not too tight. We're dealing with plastic. Okay, on to this bungee cord clip. All right, I'm going to try to explain this bungee cord the best I can. Again, I'm not going out on a limb to say that this is the right way, but we're going to feed the bottom loop end through this part of the box. Take the molded part, feed it through the loop, pull, connect the box. I'm assuming when they mean free end, this is going to be free end. Just going to wrap it one more time around this part of the molded end. It's on there. It's not super tight, but you know you have to stop and pull this off. It does kind of come undone when you do that, but once you get in the habit of just putting this through the loop again, attach it and take that free end and put it around this molded part one more time. All right, enough with that. I'm going with that. We're gonna see. We'll wait for a trail ride to see if this works and how that's gonna work, you know, on the trail. So enough with that. Now we're gonna go on to mounting the box to the rack, and there's straps and or there's a U-bolt mounting options. First I'm gonna just do the straps and see what we wind up with. Okay, so off camera I went ahead and put the 4 straps on the directions will, they've got options of, here's the back of the, some of them have them mounted through the hinge to the lower bar. The way my lower bar is on the Can-Am, the straps don't reach far enough to make a loop and pull it through. So on the side, there's the openings here, opening here, put the latches. This one's pretty tight. This can go a little tighter. Got the same on this side, but with just these straps on, you're still got some movement of the box. And with that going on, I'm afraid it's going to rub and cause some issues down the road. So the straps, for me personally, aren't going to work out. The type of riding that we do is pretty rough and fast, and it's going to be bouncy, and it's going to be sliding all over the place. So these straps are not going to be good enough for me. So again, it does come with the U-bolts. As I was saying earlier, my Can-Am has the link system and not the bars, the regular racks that come on a lot of the ATVs. So I'm going to take a few minutes here and see if the supplied U-bolts are going to work out on this rack or not, or if I have to go to Lowe's and pick up probably end up getting some square U-bolts and doing this. But I'm going to take a few minutes and figure that out. All right. I'm back a few hours later, and after a trip to Lowe's and after dinner, because it is night out now, as you can see. So back to this bungee cord. Not going to spend too much longer on this. Okay, with the help of a neighbor, Paul, thanks. We sat here and read the directions a few times, looked at this. So we're at, you put the loop end through the bottom, put the molded part through the loop. Now, I was thinking this was the free end, or this was but no. Here, the free end that they're talking about is on the other side of the molded thing. I always thought that should have stayed there. No. Pull it all the way through, connect it, loop this around, and put it in a little channel. There. That's the way it is. And if you want to make it tighter, or if you think, you can always, bring this up and wrap it. But that's the way you do it. So enough with that. All right, went to Lowe's. Got 3 of the square U-clamps. These are the size. These are 3/8 by 4 by 3. So also, while not on camera, we got this lined up, and let me show you what we're going to do with those. All right, each side, U-bolt's going to go there, and the drill holes in the bottom of the box, and the box is going to sit on there, and then the base plate's going to be inside the box and screw into the U-bolt. So one there, one on the other side over here, and the third one we're going to put right down here, and it's going to go right there. And I think that's going to do a pretty good job of securing that box. So again, this is the Can-Am has the link system, and they sell their own boxes that would go right into design to attach right to these holes, and you just reach in and you. In fact, I'll show you. So this is the front box. And this is, if you can see on a light, but you twist that way, and it comes out, and that's what the bottom looks like. And it'll fit in there, and you give it another twist, and it's pretty secure. There you go. So that's what Can-Am has. Their boxes were too expensive for me, and people just had a lot of complaints about the clasps and it's securing, and they thought it was flimsy for the price. I mean, these things were reaching close to $400. That's why I'm going with the Plano. So let me get you back on stand, and let me see if we're gonna drill those holes. Now, I did have a neighbor help me. We put the U-bolts in there and lined it up. We got some measurements from the outside and from the end, and I think we got it some good measurements on the bottom of the box, and hopefully we don't screw up drilling the holes. All right. Let me get you back here in a minute. All right, we got our holes marked. We're gonna drill. There's gonna be one there. Gonna be got a set of holes marks right here, and a set right here. So measured from the sides and from the back to get our marks. I think they're in the best locations. The advantage I saw. This is to remind everybody. This is what came with the box, with the Plano box. This, the rounded, the horseshoe is not going to work on my rack. So, went with these from Lowe's. The advantage, I'm glad they had the wide ones on the inside with the backing plate. It's going to give a wider, it's going to give it more support the wider it is, and I think I'm going to put. I don't have a piece of rubber for the inside of the box for the backing plate. A little worried about it, eventually wearing or cutting into the plastic. I don't have any rubber, but I do have some cork, so I'm gonna maybe cut a piece of cork and put it on the inside, and then have the bolt come through. So, all right. Anybody want to take bets on how accurate this is going to be? You only get one shot. We're going to try the back first. little crooked, but not gonna be able to see it. All right, let's do a test run, see if we can do this. Not any help. Well, they went in. Let's. All right. All right, give you a look here. All right, so there we go. Play it off, and we're gonna got through. We're going to put some cork down. We're just going to dry fit this right now. I'm not sure. I will probably put some seams, put some silicone on the bottom of that too, maybe. And I could double nut it to secure it, but I think I want to cut as much of this off as I can, and we'll put a lock washer, and this has still got, this can still come up. All right, yeah, we can tighten that down a little more. Not going to shift that way, and hopefully when the other ones are in perpendicular, it's not going to be able to shift that way. So I'll get the cut, you know, maybe 3/4. It might be a full inch off there off that profile. All right. Well, that worked out. Hopefully let's see if the other ones work out. All right, turn it back on here. We got the rest of the holes drilled, and I didn't put any of that on, or the rest of the drilling, I didn't put that on video. We got a fit. It was kind of a struggle to, I'll show you that off. It was kind of a struggle to getting, you know, by myself, getting the box onto the individual U-bolts that were sticking up through the Can-Am rack. But we were successful after some wiggling, tugging, and pulling. So there it is. Everything is just hand tightened for now. Let's give her a tug. All right, she is not moving at all. So again, I'm probably going to put some cork, a strip of cork underneath this bracket, to give the plastic some protection, and we'll get some washers on there, maybe some silicone sealant. I'm not real worried about water getting in here. I mean, it's going to get cleaned and wiped out. Its water's not going to sit. What else? I'm going to the original U-bolts came with a washer and a rubber washer. So I'll probably look into putting maybe a rubber washer. All this. I'll probably put maybe a lock washer on here, and then we'll go ahead and certainly cut off the excess bolt here. And I am real happy with that. We got it unboxed, and we got the seal on. Everything is still sticking with the seal, and we got all the measurements. We got the hinge on, and we got our measurements for the bolts. Drilled our holes, and got the box on. And let's close her up and take a look at it. And these bungees. Let's lock the other one. And we've got our padlock can go there for security. And time will tell with these bungees. If not, I'll just probably, if they don't work out for me, I'll put a bungee from here to here. That's going to be fine. And there's the back of it. Take a look around here. And our tolerances, we are good. So if anybody's wondering if they got a 2-up, this is a 2019. Older models, I don't know if they had a wider back seat at all. I don't know. Our tolerance is good here. It's not going to rub. Not going to rub on the other side. And we're not going to rub here where the seat. We got a good tolerance there. Other side. We got a space in between there. Doesn't look like it, but there is space there. And we probably still got some wiggle room to tighten this, push it back and tighten it down. I did check the rear seats are removable, and this will, I can't do it with one hand, but I did check it. The seat will come out without, without moving that. So we're good there. All right. We are, I think, running almost out of battery power, and I don't know, I don't know what time it is. It's probably getting close to 10. So not bad for, maybe I'll try to figure out how long this took me. It took me extra long because I'm filming everything and explaining everything for people, because, I want people to make a good decision whether this is a good product for them. But so far, I have really no complaints. We'll see. We'll give an update on those bungees, and I'm not worried about them. I was more worried about the integrity of the box, and the top is double walled, and I think that's why I seen somebody standing on it on some video somewhere. So I'm not going to do that, but let me tell you, it's good and solid. I think if you get caught in the rain, I think it's going to keep the rain out, and I think it looks great on the bike. I really do. It looks like it belongs there. And these Plano, there is 3.3 feet of storage, square feet of storage in these Planos. So I saw one, if I can remember his name, YouTuber, something prepper, who put this on his machine. He was ingenious. He got I think he got the Plano fishing tackle boxes, and he attached them to the inside lid here because, you know, he thought this was just wasted space. I thought that was pretty ingenious. First I think he Velcroed it, but then the heat, in the summer heat's just going to tear the unglue the Velcro. So he put a keyhole and a bolt and attached the clear Plano boxes here, and I thought that was brilliant. I'm not there yet. I don't think I need the space yet, but we'll see in the future. All right, we're gonna sign off, and thanks for spending time with me, and I'll bring it back on and for the final product and see how we do. Good night. All right, it's a couple days later, and pretty much finished up the Plano box on the ATV, and we'll open her up here and show you what we got. All right, not sure about the lighting here. Hopefully we can, not too dark to see, but here's what I ended up. Went with the, as I said before, we got it mounted, did the 4-inch square U-clamps, and what I ended up doing was, earlier I had told you I was going to try to use cork. It's a roll of cork made for, you know, gasket making for small engines. I was at Lowe's because I wanted to try getting wing nuts on these instead of regular nuts, because I thought maybe the wing nuts would be easier to take off. But when I got them on there, the wing nuts were pretty, you know, large, and they were just, I think, taking up space, and things weren't gonna, you know, if I put coolers or a toolbox or something, it wasn't gonna sit as nice. I know this is, you know, we do have the 2 U-bolts coming through, and what is that, 3/4 of an inch or an inch sticking up out of the bottom, but, you know, that's just kind of a necessary evil. But anyway, what I put here instead was, this is a plumber's gasket, and it's a 1-inch or 1/16 inch rubber sheet. I got it at Lowe's. It comes in a 6-inch by 6-inch, $1.99, and it's just a flat rubber sheet made to make gaskets for plumbers. And I just cut strips, and I put that in between the plastic and the brace or the bracket for the square U-bolt, and that will prevent, hopefully prevent the bracket from digging into the plastic, and hopefully just make this last a long time. And I did that on this side, and did it in the middle, and did it on that side. And I ended up painting, I got a flat black, and we had a nice day the other day. Got a couple coats of black paint on the bracket. Just haven't done, I don't know if I'm going to do this, paint the rubber black, maybe someday if I have it apart again. Painted the nuts too, but getting them on and off, and I ended up taking a cut-off wheel, and I cut off the part of the bolt part right here, keep it as low profile as I can. So there we have it. I am, I'd say, more than satisfied at this point with the Plano ATV. With the Plano ATV box, I am, it's a lot sturdier than I thought it was going to be. It ain't going anywhere. Now, whether we're gonna, obviously we'll wait for the first couple trail rides and see how it does, see if there's any cracks or anything. But this is gonna be fine. I've had the lid open and close quite a few times, and the gasket, the foam gasket, is still sticking. Again, that'll we'll see how that goes. I think there's a pretty good seal. You know, if there's a light rain, I think it's gonna stay pretty dry in there. And overall, solid. Happy with it. And you know, these bungees, you know, they take a little adjustment, but once they're on there, we're gonna, you know, trail riding is gonna determine or not whether these are gonna work or not. You know, I'm not gonna cry over it. If, you know, again, a lot of people had complaints about these. Could it be a better system? Yeah, you know, probably. But I am not going to have a problem with just taking a bungee here to the rack. You know, it's for, again, the cost. You know, $102 shipped. The 4-inch brackets that I used because of my rack, they were 3 of those cost me $12.79. And the plumber's gasket that I put between the bracket and the plastic, $1.99 from Lowe's. So there you have it. $102, $12.79, and $1.99. And that's it. Got a nice, what I think is a nice box, and hopefully it's going to give me years of good use. So we're going to sign off, and I don't know this weekend. I'd like to take it out, but I think the weather's not going to be very nice this weekend. But the weekend after that, maybe we'll get to go for a ride, and then I'm going to come back and give this a review, and we'll give it a review during the middle of the riding season and at the end, and see how we did. So I hope this helps everybody out making a decision on whether this is the right product for you. Again, you know, a couple of the modifications with, you know, hopefully if anybody else has a Can-Am rack like that, it'll help you out in some mounting. I just took measurements from the side and from the end to figure out where to drill holes at. Something else that I kind of, you know, read online later on, somebody else, you know, simply take your box, turn it upside down. This rack will come off pretty easy. You can put the rack on the bottom of the box, and you can kind of put your U-bolt, U-bracket placement there and mark it that way. But came out fine. My didn't ruin any holes or didn't have to put any holes in it. So, all right, folks. Hope the light was all right in here. And all right, can't wait to take her out. And till the next time, all right, take care.